Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I am Kev and this week we are talking about the movie Life. This movie came out in 2017. It is rated R. It is an hour and 45 minutes long. And it's a sci-fi horror film. I watched this the other day. It's the second time I've seen this movie. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, and Ryan Reynolds are your three headlining the three top billed stars on it. You only have really 6 people in most of the movie. There's more in it, but for the most part, the whole thing takes place on the space station. The synopsis from IMDb is a team of scientists aboard the ISS discover a rapidly evolving Martian predator that needs to be kept away from Earth at all costs. So, it starts with this. They've got this probe, I guess, from Mars that they're trying to catch to study. So it starts out with them just going through this whole thing, trying to catch this probe that has this alien life form supposedly on it. And then they're trying to study this life form, or what they think is this life form, and trying to basically reanimate it, bring it back to life. It was inspired by Alien, even though it's really not anything like Alien. But it is an interesting concept for a movie, because it does kind of bring in the question of, like, if you were to go to another planet or something, there is a concern that you bring back or take something that could possibly end all humanity. Because this thing, it starts out like being friendly. As they're studying it, it starts out being friendly. It's kind of curious, it grows to, it gets bigger and bigger really quick, which, I mean, it says rapidly evolving. It gets bigger and bigger. And then something happens on the space station, and it kind of shuts down, hibernates. And when they try to wake it up or bring it back or whatever, it goes into a defense mode and then just starts killing people, basically. And in the process, it starts growing massively quickly. With every person that it kills, it rapidly grows, and evolves, and it gets a lot more intelligent too, which makes it just something that's very interesting. And you've got these scientists that are trying to stay alive on the space station, but also keep it from killing them while it's trying to stay alive. It's rapidly getting smarter and figuring out how to outsmart them. And you've got this whole, back and forth of this one thing versus these, was 6 scientists and slowly dwindling down to a few. And it's just kind of it's just kind of an interesting concept. Um, it again, it is a horror movie. Um, if you like horror movies, it's an interesting watch. If you like horror, sci-fi, whatever. Um, again, pretty much all of it takes place in space. The only thing that doesn't take place in space is the very, very, very end of the movie. Um, and I have the spoilers thing, but um, sometimes I don't want to give away the ending of the movies. So sometimes I feel bad giving away the ending of the movies. Um, so I will say that at the end, here's what I'll do. It keeps killing people, whatever. Um, and eventually, a couple of them hatch a plan and try to escape. Uh, and it doesn't go as planned. Let's put it that way. And if you want to watch it, I'll let you go and watch it, and you can figure out how the escape goes. Um, but it is interesting to see how uh, what they decided to use as a mark, like how they decided to create this thing. Um, it's mostly in the early stages. It's very like it kind of looks like a clear starfish that's kind of like clear flexible starfish. And in the later stages, it looks like a big octopus. Like it kind of is what it makes me think of. Um, but it's I mean, it is creepy. Like, it looks like it has a face when it kind of at the end. But I don't know, man. Tired. Anyway, um, me yawning in these is kind of more of a common thing than anything with these anymore. Um, yeah, there's yeah. I mean, it's an interesting movie to watch. It came out in 2017. It didn't gross a ton. It doubled its budget. I think it had a budget of around 50 some million dollars, and it got 100 million in the box office, which isn't huge, but it's not terrible. I mean, it made double its budget at the box office, which is you didn't lose money, so that's a plus. Um, but it's not it's I mean, it does say something that it's been out since 2017, and I've only watched it twice. So, you know, in a couple weeks, uh, planning to start Jurassic Park, the franchise, and I watched Jurassic Park, the original one, probably at least once every other month. So probably 5 or 6 times a year. And I've watched this one twice in 10 years, so 9 years. So that's kind of one of those like, I don't know. I would say if you're gonna, it was inspired by Alien. If you're gonna watch a horror movie in space, watch Alien. There you go. I'll tell you that. Um, I prefer Alien. I think Aliens is more interesting and fun to watch. But this one is not terrible. It's pretty. Uh, it looks cool. The way they did some of the camera shots are kind of cool. The opening sequence is like when they're going through to catch the thing, they're all like floating in the space station, and even the camera's floating around, so like it like spins, and it's like up it even looks like it's floating, so it's like upside down at a couple points and like spinning around. It's kind of a cool scene the way they did it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an hour 45 minutes. So if you think you might be interested in it, go watch it. If not, you're not really gonna miss anything crazy. So, but anyway, I think that's it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if it's something that you might like, go for it. If not, whatever. You know, I don't know the next time I'll watch this. I just kind of sat down and was like, huh, that's interesting. Might watch that. I'll watch that real quick. I was in kind of a horror thriller type mood this weekend, so I watched this and a couple other horror movies. So this was just one that was on there. But anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you guys next week.